Now, I promise you that if you meet any one of these ethnicities here in Israel, they will have a story of how they've experienced racism at some point. This is because a majority of the people living in Israel are light-skinned, and the people I just mentioned are not light-skinned in that way. Hey everybody, my name's Claude Massey. I'm a life coach in Tel Aviv, Israel, and I wanted to make a video today about my struggles living in Israel as an American. I'm making this video for several reasons. One of these reasons is to express myself, of course. The second reason is to help anybody who's living in Israel to understand that they are not alone in their struggles, and they may be able to relate with some of the struggles that I'm going through, even after living in Israel for 10 years. So the first of the struggles that I'll speak about with you guys is prejudice. Yes, I experience prejudice in Israel to this day. So as a black guy living in Israel, I can tell you I have experienced prejudice many times. And it's not beautiful. I've experienced prejudice living in the US as well. I'm from California, and to be quite direct, to be a black guy is not the easiest thing in the world. But the minorities that exist in Israel are very far and few and between. Meaning, most of the minorities that you'll find in Israel are from the heart of Africa, real Africans, not an African American like me, but real true dark-skinned Africans. Also, you will see Asians, Filipinos are the most typical type, and Indians from India. Now, I promise you that if you meet any one of these ethnicities here in Israel, they will have a story of how they've experienced racism at some point. This is because a majority of the people living in Israel are light-skinned, and the people I just mentioned are not light-skinned in that way. And unfortunately, with all things in life, minorities are always just that, minorities. You are able to go for large periods of time without seeing any minorities when you travel throughout the country. If you're on the roads driving, you will not see minorities on the road. And I also experience a different sort of racism, which would be religiousism. Israel is a Jewish state. A majority of the people who live here are Jewish. Quick side note, no, I'm not Christian, no, I'm not Muslim. I don't practice any religions. I've read every single one of the religious texts out there virtually, from the Quran, the Torah, the Book of Mormon, the New Testament in the Bible. I've read them all. I choose not to take any religious stance. But certainly, I'm not Jewish, and yes, I have experienced backlash in certain situations because I am not. And yes, when I give the response that I'm not Jewish, I can sense a disconnection of brotherlyhoodness, the bond that exists amongst a brotherhood, whether it's a race or, in this case, a religion. For example, I've had to get into religious discussions during job interviews or in the workplace with various people regarding their philosophy of life against my philosophy of life, as religion is a major factor in the country of Israel, and I take a particular stance upon it. So maybe it's just my stance, or maybe it's not, but it's a struggle that I go through. Another struggle that I go through in Israel as an American is the loss of holidays. Where people are born and raised, they get used to that lifestyle, they get used to their holidays. I lost Christmas, I lost Halloween, I lost Thanksgiving. These are great holidays in the US because there's a sense of bonding and connection amongst the civilians inside of the US when these holidays happen. The stores are decorated, the TV advertisements exist of beautiful messaging of unity. But I thought I would share part of my struggle is missing out on the holidays. So every time they happen, I think back to when I was in the US enjoying these holidays with my family and friends, which leads to the third thing. I live super duper far from my family. Icing on the cake is, because they are in the West Coast, there is a massive and extreme time difference between the two countries or the two locations. This is a struggle for a lot of people. They're very close with their families, and although I am not super close with my family, I miss them. I can't blame it on anybody else. I voluntarily moved away from my family, but part of the struggle of living in Israel is that I miss him a lot. So that was it. I'm not special. I go through struggles like everybody else, and I just thought I would share them with you in this quick video. Other than that, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the share button, leave a comment, and have a great afternoon. Great news, I've just finished creating the Employment Israel Workshop tutorial series. It's 7 different videos. By the way, I haven't shaved. I've just been working like crazy to get this out to you guys as soon as possible with the best content possible. So there's 7 video tutorials, all of which are going to help you find a job in Israel that doesn't require Hebrew whatsoever. It's 100% free. Sign up below and get it today.